Make in India had happened in 2015 as well. Make in India, Stand Up India, Startup India, Skill India, and all that. And manufacturing had to have about 25% contribution to the GDP. It actually decreased from 17% to about 13%. But today, whenever there is a crisis, we talk about Swadeshi, we talk about protectionism. And on the other hand, we are having FTAs galore, free trade agreements. We are talking about commas and full stops. Courtesy Piyush Goyal, I'm quoting him. Only the commas and full stops have to be now decided on the trade agreement with America. How can we be Swadeshi, protectionist, and FTA supporter at the same time?
Well, life is full of contradictory slogans, and politicians are good at bandying them around. But let's be clear. I personally am in favor of an open trading system. The world has changed. The world is less committed to open trade than it used to be, which means that the benefits that we could get from it is less than they would have been. Nevertheless, I think we should not resort to protectionism, unambiguously. Therefore, I think what Mr. Goyal is doing, signing these FTAs, in fact, in my view, we should do more of them. I mean, the US FTA, it's not an FTA, it's a bilateral trade agreement.
It's a bilateral agreement.
But
that's not an
FTA.
But it's more FTA than a bilateral agreement for the simple reason, or whatever, initial reports that have come. $500 billion worth of imports India would allow over the next 5 years. That's 48 lakh crores. 10 lakh crore har saal. Unka maal aayega. Unka maal 3 lakh crore, 4 lakh crore ka.
I honestly don't know what these numbers mean, because these are just slogans. Bottom line is that you have to allow the imports in at very low duty. I think that's a good thing.
Is there a fear of India turning into a dumping ground? What happens to Make in India? What happens to that lion, that shade?
I think let's put it this way.
Yeah.
The notion that Make in India can be achieved simply by protection, in my view, would be an unmitigated disaster. The best Swadeshi policy we had was in 1970. When we didn't have imports, we put licenses, and you really couldn't get an import license for anything. So frankly, the logic of Make in India is, in an open environment, we make in India, and I think on one occasion the Prime Minister also said, make for the world. They have also said we want to join global supply chains. So yes, of course, look, when you say you're going to produce GDP, obviously it's going to be produced in India. But the argument is it should be produced in an environment where Indian producers are under pressure to be competitive. Now the issue arises, why are we not competitive?
Yeah.
There are 25 reasons, all of them have to do with government policy. I think it would be much better if government were to focus on those reasons rather than give protection. I mean, for example, our procedures are ridiculous. If you compare the logistics requirements, the procedures you have to go through with any country, successful country in East Asia, we are absurd. Now, for that reason, I think it's a good move that I believe the government had set up some committee to improve the ease of doing business. That should have top priority.
But we've been talking about it for the last 12 years of this government, or I'd say we've been talking about ease of doing business ever since 1991 when I was in college. I'm just
this is
getting into my retirement age.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, the ease of doing business is a bigger problem for you after you retire. But I think, let's be clear, the fact that you're always talking about the same thing is true of all countries. You're good health, welfare.